Hi everybody, this is Kevin and welcome back to another manga review. And once again we're going to be taking a look at Fairy Tail with volume 13 from Hiro Mashima. But before we get into this one, I just wanted to say that volume 12 was my favorite one yet, for all the great action scenes, the revelations we learned about the plot, and really the emotional factor. I mean, so many great emotional scenes between Natsu, Urza, and Jalal. You had Simon make the ultimate sacrifice, taking the blow in front of Urza and Natsu, giving his life. We learned that Seagrain was not Jalal's brother, but in fact a body projection and part of Jalal's being, and he had wormed his way onto the Magical Council along with Ultir so that they could fire the Etherion Blast into the Tower of Heaven, turning into this giant Lacrima Crystal, which Jalal wanted to use to bring back Zareth. And, just a lot of crazy stuff going on there. And Natsu with the ability to finally obtain the Dragon Force, where you saw he had like the dragon scales on his skin after he ate those Lacrima Crystals, and he was able to defeat Jalal. But, I don't think we've seen the last of Jalal quite yet. So let's get into this one right here. Like I said, the first few chapters are sort of the bookends of the Tower of Heaven, but we dive right into the next arc. And on the cover here, we have Loxus with his tribe here, the Raging Thunder tribe, which translates to the Thunder God tribe. And they're like his bodyguards. You have Bixlow, Evergreen, and Freed. And they're like the high-ranking wizards in Fairy Tail that really just follow Loxus and do his bidding. Of course, you have Natsu. I look at Lucy's face here. She got like the pom-poms in her cheerleading outfit. And then, of course, Happy. And then the two new members of the Fairy Tail Guild, Gajiel and Juvia. And like I said, I love Juvia, man. She's definitely the cutest Fairy Tail girl, in my opinion. But and she's got a new makeover. We kind of knew she was going to join the guild just because, she always sort of appeared nice. I mean, she was just kind of part of the Phantom Lord Guild because she went down a dark path because everyone was bullying her and she didn't really know how to control her magic. But Gajiel is definitely a shocking turn of events because, he had his match with Natsu and was a really awful guy, what he did to Levi and Jet and Droy. And even what he was doing to Lucy at the end there of the Phantom Lord arc. But, he sort of has a friendly rivalry with Natsu, and I think he wanted to join because they're both dragon slayers, and at some point, he'd like to reunite with his dragon, Metallicana. So let's get right into it. We got a great little drawing here of Lucy and Plo. Gotta love that. And, Natsu's been passed out for like a week, suffering from all his injuries. Look at him just yawning, and everyone's recovering now. And Gray makes a comment saying, I had to bail him out because he got eaten by that giant owl. And Natsu wakes up, what was that, Gray? Ready to fight him. And Happy, he's awake. And as Gray scolds him, he falls back asleep. Snore, he's asleep again. If you can't take the heat, don't wake up. So then, in the midst of all this, as they're recovering, it cuts over here. What are you here for? Grandidi, long time no see. And for the first time, we get the first appearance of Igniel, the dragon that raised Natsu and disappeared 7 years ago. Just a couple pages showing him off. And he mentions that Zareth is, his name is being whispered again, but we shouldn't discuss it for now. And he looks forward to the day we meet at the Dragon King celebration. So, some more foreshadowing, and it's cool we finally get to see the dragons after all that talk. So, of course, we have Urza's former friends, and really her friends, but she hasn't seen him in a while. Wally, Miliana, and Sho. And they mentioned the fact that, Simon made the ultimate sacrifice, stood in the way of Jalal's blast, and sacrificed his life. And it does not appear that Simon will be back. I mean, we've sort of had some fake-out deaths in the fact that Gray took that ice blade from Leon early on, and then Makarov was sapped of his powers against Phantom Lord, but, they were able to recover. But for all intents and purposes, Simon is indeed dead, and I don't think we will see him again. So, as Urza looks out to sea, she says, Urza, I haven't really, she hasn't forgotten Jalal yet, and hopes that she can meet him again, and he's in a reformed state. So, they mentioned the fact that, Sho, Miliana, and Wally have wandered off, and Urza's like, no, we gotta get the fireworks. They can't leave without us. So these guys all want to start, Urza recommended they should join the guild. They should join Fairy Tail and tag along with them. But the three of them want to find their life in a different sense and go on their own path. And they go through like the town here and they start stealing food because they don't know any better. And they're like, what's money? I don't know what money is. And Urza meets out with them and says, well, you should at least said goodbye. And she gives them like the fairy tale send-off where she says, first, one must never reveal information that would put fairy tale at a disadvantage. Second, one must never contact former fairy tale clients without permission in order to make a profit for oneself. And third, you must live strong and give your all even when making mistakes. You must never treat your life as worthy of anything less than the greatest respect. And during every moment of your entire life, you must never forget those friends that love you. Let the fairy tale send-off party begin! And Natsu with his fireworks. He's the fireworks. They don't actually have it. He starts firing his actual fire up in the air. Lucy's using her celestial magic. Gray's using his ice magic. And they give him a proper send-off as they leave on their boat and try to make their own way in life. So I do hope we will see them again. And then we got this scene here of Alt here as she's taking a bath. And you notice she has a guild emblem on her back. So of course she was working with Jalal, and then she reveals this fact here that, you know how Jalal said he was being possessed by Zareth? Well, it actually turns out that it was Altir who was influencing Jalal, and she was the spirit behind him, and of course she's trying to revive Zareth in her own way, but she was the one pulling the strings behind Jalal. So what a chain of events. So they make their way back to Fairy Tale, and it's all rebuilt now. If you remember, it got destroyed by Phantom Lord all those volumes ago, and they were rebuilding it. And of course, they went on their little vacation, which turned out to be this giant arc with all these people dying. And they make their way back, and you have this guy Max here, who's running the shop. And they have action figures. They have the Natsu action figure, and they have the Lucy action figure, which you can take the clothes off. You gotta love that. So Natsu keeps making all these faces. He's like, it's different. I don't like it. I don't blame him though. Sometimes you don't really like change like that. And they got the hot fairy tale waitresses who are helping out Mira Jane. It used to be just Mira Jane, but it appears that they've gained more members. They show up Juvia and Gajiel. And they're all happy to see Juvia. Like Makarov, of course, is happy because he likes all the babes too. And Juvia is a sweet girl. Like I said, she definitely didn't appear malicious. She was just sent down the wrong path. And once Gray, had a heart-to-heart with her after his battle with her, she saw the light. And you've seen she's redeemed herself already with teaming up with Lucy and saving everybody, throwing the Etherion blast when she summoned that water bubble. And then they reveal the next member. Here he comes. You gotta be kidding me. And it's Gajiel. And of course, these guys aren't too happy to see him, especially Natsu, because they had their match as well. And you see Jet and Droy, they're pissed as well. Because, Gajiel did beat the shit out of them. Had them all tied up. And then Mira Jane starts singing. I guess she's a rocker. And she's trying to calm everybody down. And the two of them are sitting together. And Natsu's making all these faces because he steps on his foot. And, they got their whole rivalry. They start like a food fight. And just... It's great to be back at Fairy Tale. This is what it's all about. Everyone's fighting. You got Elfman fighting. You got Mira Jane singing. And just terrific. So then Makarov says, they got this festival coming up, and there's a reporter coming to see the guild for Sorcerer Weekly. And they also mentioned in the past that Mira Jane is like a model for Sorcerer Weekly, and they're going to interview the guild here. And you actually look at this cameo. So on the Sorcerer Weekly, you see that Leon is on there, a part of Lania's Scale. So, way back when, during the Luna Island arc, of course, we have, I keep forgetting her name. It's either Shelly or Sherry. I think it's Sherry, Toby, and Zuka. And they were all former members of Lania's Scale working with Leon, and it appears they've gone back to their guilds, and Leon has joined now, so that's great. It's cool to see that he's reformed his ways. And yeah, here's Mira Jane as the centerfold model for Sorcerer Weekly. And she's always at the top of the charts. And Gajiel has Mira Jane all tied up, right? So that's going to make sense later as we get through it. But cool thing here is this reporter, Jason. They mention it in the back. He comes in. He's the reporter ready to interview everybody. And he's just all happy. Cool. Urza in the flesh, cool. And similar to how you have Nino in Eden Zero, this guy, Jason, is a real-life person who Mashima met and interviewed Mashima years and years ago, and he put him in the manga and also in the anime, so I love that. Also, Nino, he's a real-life person as well, a German YouTuber who reviews anime and such, and, you know, he was in the Eden Zero manga and also in the anime as well, so I love that he adds that. And he's all excited while he's seeing everyone. It's cool. And Lucy keeps trying to talk to him, like, I'm Lucy. Ooh, aren't I so cute? And then Urza comes into this bunny outfit. He starts interviewing Happy. Oh, it's great. And he knocks Lucy out of the way like Lucy's just chopped liver. Oh, it's Juvia, the newest member. Cool. Oh, it's Natsu. Cool. And he's just like fanboying out, meeting everybody. And Natsu, shut your mouth. And he meets Elfman, a real man. I'm a real man. And then, you know, Lucy, because she saw Urza re-equip into the bunny outfit, she gets into the bunny outfit. Like, can I get your attention? And then they reveal, you know, Mira-chan is going to sing, but, you know, you saw Gajiel tie her up. And Gajiel comes out. Look at Gajiel's outfit, dude. And he's ready to go. He's going to sing his new song, Best Friend. I hope you like it. And he's going, colorful, zooby-dooby-doo, the melody of love, ta-ta-ta-ta-ta, shala, zooby-dooby-doo-da. It's like, oh my God, he sucks. But Jason really likes it. So, you know, you have all these you know, great pictures and write-ups about the magazine. And you see this guy's reading it. He finds this magazine thrown away. He's all tattered up in rags with a beard. And he starts crying, and he says, Lucy. So who the hell is that? I'm sure we'll find out soon enough. Also, make note of this. Gajiel, age, question mark. They just showed Juvia in the last one, and they said she was 17. So, interesting they don't have an age for Gajiel. That'll make sense later, though. Stay tuned. So, over here, we see Loxus again. We haven't seen him for a bit. And he shows up, and he also sees the Sorcerer Weekly magazine. But first deals with this Dark Guild member, and Loxus easily dispatches him. Because first of all, he starts mocking Fairy Tail, saying they're a bunch of wimps. But Loxus is like, dude, how dare you call me a wimp? Are you kidding? I'm like the S-class wizard, cream of the crop. And he's furious. He says, just when did you decide to make our guild a laughingstock, Ramps? So in the midst of all this, Natsu's acting really weird ever since he ate the Etherion, and he's like very tired, and you know, he's like passing out. Happy's trying to light him on fire. It's not doing much. And Lucy mentions this, like, you know, ever since we got back, Natsu hasn't been the same. Can you help me get an easy job? And she's ready to get one that she can just take for herself. When Gajiel shows up and grabs it instead, it's my job. I'm going to do it myself. And Natsu's just walking around like a complete slob. And look at it like Lucy. Natsu, snap out of it. Go tell that jerk off. Oh, your underarms really... Oh, no, Natsu says that. Your underarms stink. He says that to Lucy. What a jerk. You're the worst. I'm going to take off after all. I don't feel so good. So Natsu's like... He's all beat up, man. So Gajiel's ready to take on his job. And Jet and Droid meet up with him, trying to seek their revenge. Because if you go back to the Phantom Lord, Jet, Droid, and Levy were beaten up by Gajiel and tied up there like crucifixes. And what happens is Gajiel doesn't even fight back. He lets the two of them beat him up as sort of revenge. And then Loxus shows up, and he's pissed off because he recognizes Gajiel as the one who was part of Phantom Lord and starts zapping him with thunder. But again, Gajiel decides not to fight back and just takes it as a sort of respect so that people can, you know, accept that he wants to be a part of Fairy Tail now, that he's going to accept his wrongs and try and contribute good for society. And as all this is going on, Levy sees what's going on. You know, she was beat up by Gajiel too. And she tells Loxus, please, don't do this. And Loxus is just firing his lightning like a madman. And it's ready to strike Levy right there. To which Gajiel stands in front of her and protects her and takes the blow head on. And, you know, it's sort of a noble thing for him to do. As it does appear that Gajiel wants to right his wrongs. So Loxus is pissed. He can't have it anymore. He's seen people mocking the guild. He saw the Sorcerer Weekly magazine where it appears that, you know, they're a laughing stock. All they do is, you know, joke around and sing and dance and get embarrassed by Phantom Lord. Had the whole guild destroyed. And then Gramps lets the two Phantom Lord members into the guild. So Lucy's making her way back home, and she's like, how the hell am I going to pay rent if Natsu can't help me? And she has this scarf, and Natsu's been very protective about his scarf in the past. So she's like, oh, something's not right with that kid if you help me take his scarf. And she's going to bed. And you got this scene. First she has this moment where she walks in and she's like, oh, no one's here. And she has these flashbacks where every time she goes into her house, someone's there. Natsu's there, Gray's there, Urza's there. And she's getting into her pajamas. And as she's lying in bed, she's like, what is going on? And Natsu and Happy are passed out in her bed. Look at Lucy's face, dude. The two of them are snoring. Natsu says, good morning, Lucy. This is my house. Worse, this is my bed. Go home. I can't go on. And Happy says we had to come back and get Natsu's scarf. And that he just hasn't been the same since he had the Etherion. And Happy mentions that this has happened before because he tried to eat Loxus's lightning when he was fighting Loxus, and the same thing happened to him. And Lucy gets all nervous. Well, Loxus is really powerful. And then Happy says, in my estimation, Loxus is the most powerful wizard in the guild aside from Gildarts. Everyone calls Gildarts that old guy. Yeah, we haven't seen Gildarts yet. They've just name-dropped him. I hope we see him soon, but they keep name-dropping him. He appears to be the most powerful wizard in the guild. And then Happy says, really the reason why we came, not only to get Natsu's scarf, but we have a job for you, Lucy. And they're going to have the Magnolia Harvest Festival, which Fairy Tail takes a part in every year. And there's going to be the Miss Fairy Tail contests, where all the hottest babes of Fairy Tail, do a little pose off in their bathing suits. And the winner will get 500,000 jewels. So Lucy's like, oh yeah, I'll be set for life with my rent. So let's do it. I can do this. So, as all this is happening, right before the Magnolia Festival, well, actually, no, this is at a different area. This is the Dark Guild of Ghoul Spirit. And this is Lox's Raging Tribe. Like I said, you have Bixlow, Evergreen, and Freed. And these are some of the strongest wizards in Fairy Tail, who, like I said, they're Lox's bodyguards, the Thunder God, the Raging Tribe. And Loxus has a plan to have him and his Thunder God tribe come back to Fairy Tail. And he says, let the fairy cannibalization start. Gramps, your time is at an end. And we also, a few volumes back, Makarov, right after Phantom Lord, Makarov was contemplating whether he should retire and who he could give the rank of master to, whether it would be Loxus's grandson, or Mystigan, or Gildarts. And then we get this, like I said, I love these cute little flashbacks. Here's the flashback of young Loxus with Makarov, and Loxus is saying, oh, Gramps, how come you're not going to partake in the festival? He's like, I want to watch it down here with you. And the kid is, I can't see. Oh, don't worry. And he uses his giant magic to get really big so Loxus can see everything, and you see like the glow in his eyes and how happy he is. It's so great, Grandpa. My grandpa is the best master ever. And Makarov's thinking, when did you turn into the way you are now, Loxus, and why? Why is that? So again, look at Natsu, dude. He's still like sleepwalking, like completely spent from his battle with Jalal. When is he ever going to recover? And as they get ready for the Miss Fairy Tail contest, we have all the contestants. And first up is Kana Alberona, who, we've seen her in the past. And her default outfit is always the bikini, but here she is actually wearing a shirt until she decides to put on her sexy bikini. So we got her. Then we have Juvia, which, like I said, dude, in my opinion, she's the best. And then Mira Jade, who, similar to that of Elfman, has the ability to transform, and for whatever reason decides to transform into Happy, have Happy's face. Then you have Urza, like this sexy, they call it like the sexy goth maid outfit. I mean, look at that. So as Lucy's looking on, she's like, how the hell am I going to win? If everyone's going first, I mean, Mira Jade kind of effed up by sabotaging herself to transform into Happy. But the other three, I mean, wow, wooey. And then you got Levy, who, also has her cute little outfit. And you got Jet and Troy, who are looking on. Then we have, what's her name? Biska, who we've seen a little bit before. And Alzak, he's the other gun-wield magic user who has a crush on her. Oh, she's so cute. Also, let me go back to Juvia real quick, because she says something along the lines of, oh, Gray, aren't you looking at me? Where is it? Gray, Saba, are you watching? I love it, dude. Come on, Gray. What are you sleeping on? And then the next one we have is Evergreen, part of, what Loxus, forgot its name for a minute, but part of Loxus's group. And then she actually has the magic power to turn people to stone, which is what she does. She turns them all to stone. And Makarov's pissed. He's like, what is going on? Why'd you turn everyone to stone? And Loxus comes in with his other cronies and he says, the festival starts now. It's the Raging Tribe. Loxus's bodyguards. No. And Loxus says, the Battle of Fairy Tail is about to begin. And to this, Natsu is all fired up. He's ready to fight. But basically, Loxus is holding all the women hostage. And the agreement to this battle is they have to defeat all the members of Loxus's group here in a 3-hour time limit, or else all the girls will be destroyed. They're turned to stone. They'll just knock them over and destroy them. And Loxus's condition is, they can be defeated, or Makarov can surrender the rank of master to him. And Makarov is completely pissed off. And basically Loxus's reason, which we've seen in the past, is the fact that, Fairy Tail has gone soft. They've let in enemies into the guild like Juvia and Gajiel, and they've tarnished the name in Loxus's opinion. So Freed uses like this enchantment magic where you can't exit this building. You see the enchantments there. And the rule states anyone over the age of 80 is not allowed, or the stone statues, is not forbidden to cross the border. So everyone else goes out. Gray's like, I'm going to take on Loxus. I can do it. And he actually tells this guy here, what was his name, Redis, to go to see Portal Usica to see if he can get medicine. And Natsu goes, guns a-blazing, trying to get out, but it blocks him. It's like, how about it block Natsu? He can't be older than 20. So what happens as everyone's out there is as they enter certain areas, they're trapped in Freed's enchantments, and you can't leave the area. Here's one of the rules. Only the strongest wizard has the possibility of leaving the boundaries of the Jutsu Shiki. And basically that means that the Fairy Tail members have to battle each other to break free of the enchantment, hence the Battle of Fairy Tail. And, everyone has to turn against each other. And Loxus says, I wonder how long the Fairy Cannibal Feast can go on for, Gramps. So, terrible, man. All the friends have to fight each other. You have, these lesser guys. This guy's name was Nab. I forget his name. But they're going against each other. You had Makau going against Wakaba. You got, I think Jet and Droy were going against each other. So everyone's fighting each other. Natsu, for whatever reason, can't escape. I mean, yeah, here you see the fights right here. Max versus Warren. Winner Warren. Wang versus Joy. Winner Wang. And what happens is, Redis is trying to go to see Portal Usica to get medicine. But Freed makes his way over to him saying, you can't leave. The rule is you have to stay within Magnolia. You can't get outside help. So then you have the big guys. You got Freed going against Redis. You got Gray going up against Big Slow. And then Elfman going up against Evergreen. So Elfman, of course, is really pissed because his sister, Mira Jane, is a hostage. And she has her glasses on to sort of hold back her power. But if you look her in the eye, you'll turn to stone. So what Elfman decides to do, he does the full body takeover and actually blindfolds himself. But it's still not enough. Elfman's defeated by Evergreen. So at the end here, Makarov's pissed. Loxus, what are you doing? So that's the end here. This is going to be the start of the Battle of Fairy Tail, which looks to be very interesting. I mean, we'll see what happens with who can defeat Loxus and why Natsu is trapped in there. So, and also he mentions the fact that this concludes the Urza chapter. And again, Masha mentions the fact that he likes doing these particular arcs, fleshing out the backstory of other characters. Obviously, this one is going to focus on Loxus, and it's a lot of good stuff. So, I love it, man. I really love this series, and I can't wait to see what happens next. So, thank you all for watching. Let me know your thought in the comments down below, and stay tuned for my review of Volume 14 coming soon. Have a great day, everybody.